So let me introduce our honorable speaker here, Mr. Rajeswaran Vishwanathan. Sir, it's an honor to have you here on our Odin Talks. And before I can hand over, I would like to tell who we have here to our wonderful audience. I would like to say Mr. Rajeshwan Vishwanathan is the Senior Director of Capgemini. Guys, I'm not telling director, I'm talking about Senior Director. That's quite an amazing post to be in. He's also been the Generative AI Portfolio Board Member in Capgemini, delivered generative AI solutions to customers for the past 2+ years. The most interesting thing about him is in 2021, he predicted the rise of generative AI. So even before we knew about AI, he already has predicted it. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of insights coming from him. He has overall 28+ years of experience, in which 13 plus is in data science. And that's exactly why Mr. Rajeshwan Vishwanathan is with us. He leads a team of 200+ AI team delivering multiple projects in Gen AI. He's the head of AECOE for the past 4+ years in Capgemini, handling multiple clients. And his education comes from, he does his BE in electronics and instrumentation and master's degree in computer engineering from Texas A&M University in USA, and the postgraduate diploma in management from IIMC. His PhD in computer science topic is language models in healthcare. So we have a personality here who's not just going to share knowledge, definitely his experience, but the most important thing is he's going to share his wisdom with us. And I feel that is quite something that we can look forward to in today's Odin Talks. So with this, I'd like to hand over the session to Mr. Rajeshwaran to give some insights and about himself a little too. Over to you, sir.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Shelf, for that intro. Basically, I started with data science in 2010, and there was one project where a customer wanted to do fraud prediction, and at that time it was very new concept for me because I was coming from an architecture kind of a background, and we got the project. Meaning, customer said, "Can you guys do it?" Because we didn't know. And at that time, we said, yeah, let's give it a try. So that is when I got into data science as well. Meaning, we took the data. How do you find out which is a fraud? A typical thing would be like some outlier or something, which is the most primitive way of doing it. But then you start modeling it, and then you have to predict other ones. The idea is not just to take this data, but predict future. Whenever a new case comes in, you need to be able to, which is where you need a model to start with. So that is where we started, and after that, it's been a long journey where I've been with because I got in early. Every data science or machine learning project used to come to me, and so I got into different types of modeling. It not just one type, from time series data to categorical data to numeric data, all sorts of different kinds of modelings that I have done. So wide variety of experience. 4 years in Capgemini. In 2020 onwards, I've been working with GPT-2, GPT-3 onwards. We've been working and found it very, very interesting in terms of the capability. When they first refused to release GPT-2, they basically said that it has crossed a threshold of what it can achieve. And OpenAI delayed release of GPT-2 for about 6 months. They didn't release it, and then they released it. It got really for my curiosity going, saying, why is this happening? What is really so great about it? And my area of PhD is basically language models in healthcare. So I was looking at language models, but earlier models like BERT and things like that. And once I got into GPT and started seeing what it can do, how it can do responses, I was totally, let's say, I bought into the whole idea that this is going to be something big. And I built multiple solutions. And I sort of wrote an article, and you're referring to that prediction. That article is there in the Capgemini website. So you can Google my name and you can see the article in Capgemini website, which I wrote in 2021. By then, I've been working with it for about a year. And then I sort of predicted that it's going to be the future because the amount of capabilities it has acquired had become so significant that you can't ignore it anymore for all NLP kind of tasks. And since ChatGPT release, which happened on November 30th, it's 1 year and 1 day old, happy birthday, ChatGPT. It's completely transformed the way people look at AI. And there are two aspects to this. One aspect is the capability of the model, which I have been seeing it for quite some time. It's not new to me. But there's another important aspect. It is the accessibility, meaning you can build anything, but if you make it accessible to the end user without them having to train. I remember, my father used to buy one, what you call it as those days, uh, tape recorder kind of a set where we had dual tape recorders. It came with such a big manual on how you should connect it, how you should hit the play button, and things like that. The biggest change that happened with iPhone and the way products are designed is iPhone comes with a very small manual that tells you how to put the battery, how to connect the wires. It has no thing about how to use the iPhone. That is the main driving force. That is the change it made. The usability, where you don't have to train somebody on how to use a machinery. An iPhone, if you think about it, is as complicated as you can ever imagine. It is a calculator, it's a phone, it's a music player, it's pretty much anything you can think about, right? But zero user training. Imagine that. Imagine, what we are talking about, right? You would think that such a complicated thing that you have to do. Even typewriters used to come with a manual. You understand, right? So it is a change. But ChatGPT, the capability existed in GPT 3.5. I've known it because I've been using it for a long time. So I was predicting that it will become big. But the user interface, the way made it accessible, people who had no background of AI, anybody from economists to biologists to whatnot, students, children use it. That is the main driving force. Which when we design products, when we design something, we need to take that into account. How do you make it usable? You can build a fantastic machine learning model, data science product. How do you make it usable to the end user? If you spend some time thinking about that, it will be eminently worthwhile, is my take, Gafar.
That's brilliant, sir. That's a great thing, and your words tell us how experienced you are. And I feel today's next 1 hour is going to be quite exciting for all of us. So before I can take some questions from the audience, I personally have a question, sir, because I read about you on LinkedIn, and from the time I read it, I wanted to ask you this question: what is the secret of your success, sir? What would you say is your secret?
Okay. See, okay, there are two things I will put it. Okay, I mean, you want long answer or short answer? Huh? Mm.
Your wish, sir.
Okay.
However you want to.
No, what I will see, it's about perseverance, right? When I got into data science in 2010, there were not many projects. As I told you, I got one project and I got hooked. I've been reading about it and I got hooked into data. And I used to be on bench, and that is a dangerous thing. You understand, right? In companies and all that. But of course, I had enough equity. I worked 17 years in HCL, so not that I was going to get fired or anything. I was, well rated, top rated. That's not an issue. Issue was even when there were no projects, even when my boss said, "You're wasting your time, come back to architecture," I refused to budge. And if I had free time, I used to invest in myself. Okay. And I used to learn new things, better things, whatever things were happening, I used to learn. The perseverance, and probably because I persevered on the right area, it paid off. Okay, so when I joined Capgemini, I mean, I was already considered an AI expert. People, experts interviewed me. On day one onwards, they put me as the head of AI, which is big thing, for a $20 billion company. You can imagine all the other experts across the world. We are running multiple AI COEs across Capgemini. All of them are eminently qualified, right? I get to meet 5 to 6 PhDs a week at the minimum, right? All the people, we have a global data science call, right? And about 20 people are there. 18 of them are PhDs, okay? And so it's really, really high quality group. And to get there, what people do is they basically charge themselves short. What I mean by that is you go through one course in Coursera, you take some one machine learning course, and suddenly you think that you've arrived. It's not. It's the first step. You need to invest a lot more of your time into it and really learn the skills, not cheat yourself. That is what will get you there. That's my personal take.
Beautiful answer, sir. I guess that's going to help a lot of our viewers to know more about what it takes. Perseverance is one main secret of success. Sir, just curious about this prediction that you did in 2021. What was your thought behind it, sir? How did you think that this is what I would want to do? And how do you get this thought that let's predict something that's going to happen in AI 2 years behind back itself?
Yeah, to see, I was asked to write article every quarter. I write articles in my Capgemini website. There's a lot of articles I've written. Actually, last 1.5, 2 years, I've been writing only about Gen AI. Every article is about Gen AI, and I started a new theme in Capgemini. I mean, about 1 year back, I wrote an article where I put three language models to talk to each other. Okay, and it was a conversation among themselves, right? Three different language models. One language model asks question, another one answer. It's very interesting, and they are talking about the impact of AI. It's a very interesting, loop within loop kind of a concept. So it's a very interesting article. You can read about it in Capgemini website. But now with ChatGPT, it all looks, yeah, we know it can do that. But it was very, profound that time. Like people are saying, oh, that's totally awesome idea, and we never knew that it could do that. So we started with three companies. There's a company called Cohere. There's another company called AI21, and then there's of course ChatGPT and GPT-3. So we put these three models and made them talk to each other and things like that. It was a good idea. So when I saw it before all that, when I saw, because I did a lot of use cases on code generation, and that is one of my local areas of expertise. Pretty much NLP is what I work with mostly. And in code generation, I saw the capability because we've been able to do things, and I really saw the impact what it can do, and that's what I predicted. I said that it's going to completely change the way we do because you really don't have to write code. You can just tell Chat GPT and it will do the things for you, and that is going to be the thing. And now the way I look at it, I mean, if you want to look at long term, right, and what kind of architecture, the way I'm seeing it, if you think about it, what is an operating system? An operating system is at a high level. You have a central processing unit. There's a processing that it can do. It can do a lot of processing for you. Then you have some memory where it can take from storage, read and retrieve and give it to you. That's what the operating system does. Interfaces with some data that you can get, read it, write it back, whatever. You have a user interface. Okay. And fourth one is connectivity to the external world. Okay, so you need to be able to do networking and all that. So these are the four basic functions that our operating system will do. If you look at the way this Gen AI and LLMs are going to do, it is going to be the central operating system of the architecture of the future, where the Gen AI will do the processing and embedding will be your storage. Okay, and you can have right now, let's say you have a chatbot interface. Okay, that's fine, but you're going to get the interfaces are going to improve as we move forward. Then you're going to get agents which actually connect to all the systems. For example, if you take within a company, if I tomorrow go to a company and I have a chatbot interface and I ask the chatbot, how many leaves do I have pending? It will go to my leave management system, retrieve what is available, and come back. I can ask, what was the last amount salary credited? It goes to a salary system, gets my salary amount data, and gives it to me. Then at the same time, I can say, I'm going to do this proposal. Who is the one I can help? It can go. It has some knowledge. It finds out who's free, whatever it connects me. So that is going to be the way it does because it not only just it's like my personal agent. It does things for me, and it's smart. It understands my intent. If it doesn't understand, it can qualify and ask me some follow-up questions or something like that, and that's the way we are going to work in the future. That's the way we are seeing it. That is going to be the impact, and I could see that happening at that time itself.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, we are also seeing it. Sir, let's take evolution of our human race. From the time we started evolving, there are certain turning points, like the invention of fire. Then we came into agriculture. Then we came to electricity, and then internet. And internet, there was one time the internet was going bonkers over Google. Can we take AI to be the next turning point of our human evolution?
See, AI has been there for a long time, right? And see, just like mobiles were there for a long time, it's not new. But iPhone was a turning point because it changed the way you interact with the device. Okay, so same way ChatGPT has done to AI what iPhone did to mobiles. Okay, and if you told me in 2000 that Nokia will be gone by 2010, I would laugh because I'll say, there's no way they have 90% of the market. Every phone from small to the big one was all Nokia. You understand, right? And it literally disappeared from the market, right? So that's the way it is. And the way I see generative AI and the chatbot interface completely decimating conversation of every other AI, I think it is the turning point from that turning point. But what you need to, yes, it will have a very big impact, I don't deny it. But I want to tell you one thing. It took 3 years after the launch of iPhone to see big companies identifying the use case and coming up with money. Uber wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the touch phone because you need to have location and maps. Okay, which started with Google Maps, but how do you monetize on it? How do you make money using maps? Okay, Uber, or even you have Swiggy or delivery system, or even you understand all of these new ideas that allow you to basically make money out of this new device happened 3 years later because people started figuring out I have this nice thing and your calculator is not the best thing in iPhone. Okay, it's a utility. What application will really make me drive a revenue and create a new verticalized business is what you have to think about. Now, generative AI is in the first year. Yesterday, we celebrated 1 year of ChatGPT. Right now, people are building models. Everybody is going in all directions. But probably it took 3 years then. Maybe it will take 2 years now. In 2024 onwards, you will see actual applications that get built that will start making money out of generative AI. Okay, so that's what is going to happen. That's where you'll really see the impact. We haven't started seeing the impact. We're just playing around with it right now. It's locked in POC.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you for that answer. So, with this, I will also ask our audience here to post any questions that you have that we can ask, sir. I will take up those questions as and when we go. So, I already have a question from one of our viewers. He's excited to know what is the exact reason behind introducing AI. How did it all start? What is the starting point of AI, and how did that happen?
See, AI has been there, for a long time, right? It's not something new. Okay, you want to be able to predict something, and the prediction was very important from weather prediction to military and everything, right? So some of you would know how they tried to predict how many German tanks are there. I mean, that's a very classic prediction problem, right, in World War II. Okay, and you would have seen the Turing machine, and we talked about how to predict the decrypt the German thing. So these are all AI kind of a thing where you use machines to actually do some thinking for you that you yourself are not able to do. It could be simple crunching, it could be complicated crunching, but machines are able to get some intelligence to be able to do that. It's been there for a long time. Companies, for example, if you take a credit score for a simple example, right? What is the credit score? Credit score is you have a human and they have multiple attributes. It could be your education, your marriage status, how many children you have, what is your job, how much regular income you're having, how much expense you're having. Because if you have more expense than income, doesn't matter what your income is, you're not a good credit score. But you want to quantify it and bring it down to a number. And that number, that scoring is an algorithm. Credit scoring is an algorithm. Okay, so you put all these parameters which are like your education is a parameter, right? Like that, you put a lot of parameters and then you find out whether somebody will be credit worthy or not, without which all the banking cannot function. Correct. So all risk management cannot happen. So it's been there for a very long time. Earlier it used to be heuristics. Now they made it into as a model because they don't want individuals taking the decision. They want models to be able to do that, and it's standardized so that you won't get the variance. That's so it's not something new. And second point is there are two types of issues. You have deterministic problems. If I throw a ball, when the ball will come and land is a deterministic problem. You just throw in the gravity, acceleration due to gravity, all those Newton's equations, you get an answer. But there are inherently probabilistic problems. If I notice that you go for a movie, right, every Friday, let's say I notice that, there may be some Fridays you don't go. It's not very deterministic. How do I predict whether you will go or not? Is it the rain? Is it the, a time you leave the office? What is it? So you put in parameters and you can make a prediction. Or whether you would get a storm or not. So you want to be able to predict it. Okay. So like that, wherever you have a prediction kind of a problem, it's not sure you'll do this. It's not 100% sure. It can be this way or that way. That's when you get into a prediction. So when you get to a probabilistic question, you need AI models. That's where AI comes in.
Great, sir. Thank you. So, taking another question from one of our audience, he's asking, what is the future of AI in data science?
Future of AI in data science.
Yes, sir. Future of AI in data science, say 10 to 5 to 10 years from now. What is the future?
See, if you take, AI is a broad umbrella in which data science is a very small subset. Okay. Whatever you may get from ChatGPT, you get something. Data science cannot be replaced by these models because these models will have a small context window. Okay, meaning the input will be very small because you can have a 175 billion parameter neural network, which is your what you have ChatGPT, but ChatGPT input will be only 4,000 tokens or whatever it is. A token can be thought of as a word. That's all you can put in maximum. You understand? I'm talking about GPT-4, which is supposed to be not even 175 billion, supposed to be a trillion parameters. That's all you'll get. But the input size is limited. Okay, why I mean by that is tomorrow, if you're going to get a data set and somebody says, get me some intelligence from this data set, it could be a fraud prediction or whatever it is, that will never get replaced by any of your Gen AI. But if the requirement is, automate this for me or move this code from this technology to that technology, those things AI can do. But it will never replace the core data science work that you have to do because you have to know the insights, you have to talk with the domain people, you have to understand the data. So you're very safe if you're in this. For that, you need to really acquire serious data science skills. That's when you can survive.
That's a very interesting answer. So I guess there's going to be a lot of relief for people who already are here that data science is one place that AI cannot take over. We definitely need people. So on that line, there is another question asked. Sir, according to you, for non-tech people, which branch is better in data science, data analyst or data engineer? Which one should they choose?
See, non-technical people cannot get into data science or even data, engineering because all of them require full programming. Okay, you can't get without programming. And maybe analysis or data entry kind of a thing is all I can think of because today programming is like speaking English. It's non-native to us, but you have to learn it. Okay, and the payoff is worth it. Okay, so if you have time, it's worthwhile. You should invest yourself in learning programming because there are lots of free resources available, be it YouTube or whatever, where you can learn programming. And there are a lot of places where you can test your skills and improve your programming. It will be eminently worthwhile to actually, because, but again, I'm very biased, right? Meaning, the world, if you take even IT, right, it will be probably, 2-3% of all of employment. So you're asking somebody who's very biased. So it's not a good question.
I understand, sir. There's a very tricky question asked. I'm excited to ask this question to you, sir. He's asking, will AI be able to bring in a lot of jobs in the future, or will it be vice versa? How is it going to be?
Okay, so yeah, there are two schools of thought in this, right? So what will happen is it will change the jobs. There is no doubt. Okay, so if you go to the bank 20 years back, 30 years back, you will never see a computer. Okay, it will be ledgers and whatever. But now, if you're not computer savvy, you cannot work in any function in the bank. Okay, even a teller uses a machine to count the notes. Okay, so if you're not tech savvy, you can't survive. Okay, same way you have to be savvy enough to survive in new job. So you have to use the machinery, whether it be a computer, AI, or whatever it is, to survive. So without that, you're not going to be able to survive. So let's get that thought out of the way. Okay, now just one second, no? 1 second. சொல்லுங்க. One shot. Uma. So you have to be tech savvy to survive. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to survive, right? So the tech savviness is very important. Okay, and that how much you pick up, like how you can use AI to get something done, will be the way to go. Okay, that is point number one. Will AI replace some jobs? Yes, it will. Okay, as I said, it will replace some jobs. Okay, we didn't have as many tellers as we would because ATMs came. Okay, but they started doing other things, right? More different things. Same way, AI will replace some jobs. But will AI throw away all the jobs? I don't believe so. Okay, for two reasons, right? Inherently, it's a probabilistic model. So you're always going to have somebody who has to check something, because not everything we can, just go with probability. If you say 2 plus 2, ChatGPT will give you the answer 99.9999% of the time. But there may be one time it will not say 4. Okay, so you can't rely on it. You can't give your balance sheet to ChatGPT and tell it to count and give it, because you are legally liable. If there's a mistake, then you'll be probably even arrested because for giving false information. So you can't totally trust it. There are a lot of deterministic things to be done. It's not always probabilistic, the world. So there are always going to be jobs that you do. Okay, so there is going to be that. And the same promise was made when computers came. People said, oh, computers are going to come, they're going to replace all of banking, you're not going to get so many people. We find more banks, we find more branches, we find more people working in banking than before. Okay, so it's a paradox, right? Computers supposed to automate more, but if we get more people, okay, more, maybe it will become more pervasive. Same way, the penetration of computation, penetration of this itself is not so much. So there is more to go. We have not reached the thing wherein it can't grow. So I don't think it will. It will throw away jobs. I think it will change the job description. It will change the way you have to do. You have to learn to work and live with the technology, right? So it's your friend. Okay, they don't think of it as your enemy. You're not going to survive.
Wonderful answer, sir. That was very interesting, perspective that you gave us. Thank you so much. So let me go with the next question, sir. The question is, what is the effect of AI on Power BI, that too on the data visualization? Do we still need to write a program in SQL, or can we directly use AI?
Yeah, so this is a classic question, right? Because a lot of customers come to me and ask the same question, saying that, oh, why can't we just tell it in English? And it does it, because in English can be translated into SQL. There are, forget about large language models, there are very good models. Okay, you go to GitHub, if you say text to SQL, there is a benchmark and there are models. There are models that will give you, in fact, Google released Palm SQL or some model earlier this year. They haven't open sourced it, but if you read the benchmark, they claim 94, 96% accuracy. It will convert and give you the correct SQL that you need. So if you give the tables and you say, write me in SQL, it will write you in SQL. The answer is you shouldn't do it. Okay, why I'm saying that is, it's good to play around like a toy, but moment you put it in production and then you are saying what is my sales data, it gives you one wrong answer, and based on it, if you are taking a decision, it could be catastrophic. Okay, so my point here is, and I tell my customers, yes, it's fantastic, it will do it 99% of the time, but don't do it. Why? Because this is a deterministic process. You're asking me how many children do I have? Okay, why should I use AI to answer this question? Okay, it's a deterministic question. You have a database, you have the data. You write proper SQL and get the answer. Don't trust AI to write that SQL, because it gets you wrong one time. I told my customer, it will get it to you right 99% of the time. The one time it gets you the wrong answer, your manager is going to fire you. Okay, so
Interesting,
these are all
interesting.
nice tools to have. Don't touch it.
Okay. So on the same lines, there's another question. Now it's going to go a little personal on your end. Working with generative AI projects, what ethical considerations or challenges do you prioritize, and how do you ensure responsible use?
See, I work in corporate environment, right? Okay, meaning um, we don't recommend right now the AI to be deployed directly in a customer-facing chatbot kind of. Unless, except for chatbots, we don't. But if you do put a chatbot, we have to ensure that there are so many guardrails that actually prevent the AI if I'm saying things it shouldn't be saying. If you look at a large language model, the model will just give an answer. It doesn't know whether it's the right answer, wrong answer, whether it should say it or should not say it. Okay. First and foremost, there is no such thing as unbiased data. Okay, every data is biased, so there's no such thing. You'll never get a data in which you get. Let's take, for example, transgenders. Okay, you're not going to get data that is 33% male, 33% female, 33% transgender. If you get that, then somebody will say, "What about LGBTQ?" or something like that. There's always some group that is going to get marginalized because that's a real life. Okay, you can't avoid that. So if you're training a model on a biased data, which is what you're going to get, the model is going to be biased. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to figure this out. Okay, so you're going to get a biased model. Now, the issue is not about the model or the data bias. It's about you should not propagate it. Meaning, I should not say the wrong thing just because I think one way. You have to put guardrails to ensure that that doesn't happen in a corporate environment, sitting within a internal, most of my use cases, people are not going to ask any question that is, biased, or they're not going to say, write me the say recipe for nuclear bomb or something like that. It's not going to happen. Okay, but even within that, we put an API filter, meaning we're never going to allow anybody to directly interact with the model. Every team has to go through APIs where we have central filters to ensure that ethics and other things are followed.
Interesting answer, sir. Thank you for that. Now, coming to the next question. This one, I guess everybody would want to know this. What is the knowledge, what tools are expected from freshers who want to start their career in AI?
Now, AI is a broader topic, right? Okay.
I mean, in
So,
data science and AI, sir, to be specific there.
yeah, I mean, again, AI is a broad topic, data science is also a broad topic, meaning there are so many different types of modeling, so many different types of expertise. Each one, has its own large body of work. Okay. So, if you take, for example, time series modeling, I'm just giving an example. Time series modeling easily will have about 40, 50 books available. There are so many algorithms, so many ways that in which you have to do. Okay, so you have to take up one area where you really get some expertise. Let's say time series, for example, I'm talking about. It's very much applicable in stock market analysis, IoT data. It's extremely important. Somebody who knows time series is always very valuable because it's a very specialized way of looking at it. Because you don't have something like mean, average, all those things don't exist. How you find correlations, how you store data, what you do, completely different set of tools, techniques, ideas that you need to understand and be able to master. But if you take categorical data, if you take numerical data, if you take NLP, if you take computer vision, all of these have special expertise. Okay, so you have to pick one. At the early stage, you need to sample everything because you get an idea, because you want to get a job. So you need to have some idea about everything so that you can get a job. Once you go in, you have to think about one area that you want to specialize, and you really have to spend some time, participate in hackathons, go through code learning and things like that, where you really learn that skill. Then you can differentiate yourself. That is very important.
Great answer, sir. I guess that would be very informative to all our viewers here. Now, coming to a very general question, sir, nothing about data science or AI, because you have such vast experience. There's a question that is asked. If you are recruiting in today's world for a candidate for any role, okay, not looking into the technical aspects, other than the technical aspects, what do you think a candidate should possess in order to get into a good job and a good role to start his career?
See, of course, technology be overwhelming more than anything else. Meaning that if you are able to code well or show proficiency in that, nothing more than that. I mean, if you can get into putting some projects on your own GitHub, people who have on their resume that I have a GitHub and I've created these projects, it matters a lot because we do look at it. I will, if I see a resume in front and there's a GitHub link, I will click on it and see what you've done. Okay, and if you have some good projects, it always makes some confidence that you've done some coding, you've done something. You understand, right? Because it's more than words that you have done this. You understand, and it shows that you care. See, again, coming back, right? It's about you have to care about yourself and work on your own resume. And it's all building your body of work. Okay, so that is what you have to do. That would matter quite a bit. Okay, so if you've done something like that, that would matter. So beyond that is just, again, that's again technology. Communication skills, highly underappreciated. Okay, if you can join Toastmasters or something like that, where you actually learn how to communicate. Because part of the growth in any company is not technology, it's able to communicate not only with your peers but with the customers. Those who can talk very well, they actually grow much better than those who have very high technology.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for that thought. I guess this is one point everybody would want to know. So, coming from such an experienced person, guys, I would also again would to highlight what he just said. He says, other than all the technical aspects, communication is one main thing. And I also like to highlight one point sir mentioned is about joining a Toastmasters club, a communication enhancement club wherever possible in your city. That's going to help you enhance your communication. So make sure that is one main factor that all of you will think of. So the next question, guys, one more thing before asking the question. Please ask more questions. I see the number of questions have gone down. Please ask so that we still can interact with sir and get maximum out of him in the next few minutes. All right. So, sir, the next question is, in the context of recruitment, could background negatively affect the chance of being selected? Even if the applicant is skilled, but he does not have proper degree or does not have the relevant degree, just will skill alone be enough to get recruited is the question.
See, the issue is something like this. HR will filter out all those people, unfortunately. So if you see, it's about what you in economics, what you call it a signaling rate. Okay, if you get a degree, if you get some certification from reputed institutions, they have phenomenal weight. Okay, that is when you actually get through the HR filters. If somebody is just plus two, or they claim 500 things and they might have actually done it, it will never come. The resume will never come to me because HR will just filter it out. So that's what you need. There are other issues because when I apply for a visa for anybody, if they don't have a 4-year degree visa, most countries will not even allow the visa. So there's a reason that we go for a this kind of a background.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Thank you for that. So, still, there's another question almost repeated. If you can just clarify this. The question is, will AI, I've got this question multiple times, so I'm putting it forward to you. Will AI replace any data engineer or data analyst job?
That's what I was telling you, right? It will never, because the model context size is limited. They're never going to build a model which will take a million data points. You understand, right? So your job from that perspective will always remain. Okay, it will never happen because there are a lot of other issues with having a larger model with a bigger context size. Even a context size of 200K, which is what Claude 2 has released. Okay, if you actually try the model, it has a lot of problems because in between it starts hallucinating quite a bit. So that is another problem that has been solved. So it will not be solved in the immediate future. Meaning next 5 years, I'm not going to see. But anyway, nobody is going to build that kind of a model where it takes a million data points and does anything. So it will do for small data sets, but in real life, we don't need that. We need actual data set. And again, coming back, when I give a data and the customer says, "What's the average salary in the data set?" Let's say I have a salary data set. Okay, I want an accurate answer because there is a deterministic answer. If you give an AI answer and the AI is given it wrong, you lose your job. So the question is deterministic. So data analysis, data modeling, these are fairly deterministic tasks. You've been asked to do something specific. There are correct answers to that. So if you let AI do it, it may get it right most of the time, but it will always get it wrong 1 or 2 times, and no customer will ever take that product into production.
Wonderful. Guys, all who asked that question, I guess that repetition will give you more clarity that AI is not going to take over a data analyst or a data science job. So, guys,
Yeah.
sir, another common question I'm getting is, what is your take on candidates having a career gap? Is that going to affect any kind of recruitment or how they skill?
No, it doesn't. Not in Capgemini. It doesn't. Okay, you can take a career gap, and it won't affect so much because um, HR will consider it. As long as you have a good resume, it should not be a problem.
Yes, thank you. So another interesting question is, now that you know more about AI and how ChatGPT, OpenAI works, can we expect images and videos also from ChatGPT in the future? If not, there are other ways, but in ChatGPT
Yeah,
specifically, we are
GPT-4
asking.
already does that. Yeah, GPT-4
Okay.
already is multimodal. So it can do images, it can do, it can infer from images. It's not going to generate images like Stable Diffusion or Midjourney. There are other models for that. See, you should look at AI as a whole. What I mean by that is, if you want to get, let's say, an image done or something, you should not say only ChatGPT should do it. Right? Let's say, I'm doing some work, right? I should not say this person should do the cooking, this person should do the driving, you should also write the script. No, you have different people doing different things. Like that, you just take different models, get the job done because it's just a tool in the end of the day, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you. So next question that is over here is, what kind of a job role can we see in the next 10 years in the AI field? Will there be new job roles generated? And what kind of job roles can we expect?
Yeah, it's a difficult question. Again, as I said, proper data science, you'll always have a job. Okay. There may be new job roles coming. As I said, it's only 1 year old, this whole technology, right? One chat GPT. I told you in 2 years, everything will change. You'll see new things coming up. Right now, people are talking about prompt engineering being a role. I am not convinced on it yet because it's evolving so fast. What used to be a good skill yesterday, today is now old skill. So you need to keep learning new things again and again. Okay, so you're chasing a very fast moving target. Maybe it is good, but I'm not so sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that. I hope that answered the question whoever asked. Sir, another interesting question. It's a very thought-provoking question. 4 to 5 years back, AI wasn't there. So that time everybody was skilled and they were recruited. But now AI is, introduced. How company can look into this? Will they be giving training for the employees present, or will they prefer employees with the new specialized skills? How do you think
Both,
this will happen?
both, right? Because we are training people internally. At the same time, if I have an urgent need, right, I can't wait for somebody to get trained and come back because training will only give you so much. Okay, actual project skills are something that is much more valuable. So if you have the skills that I need today, then I can just take it from market and start. Because even few days, I mean, 1 week back, I posted on LinkedIn saying that I need optimization people, right? So we're always looking for people on specific skills. So there's quite a bit of opening always. So both, but we are training our people as well.
All right, sir. Yes, I'm just looking for a question I missed out on. Yes, sir. This one question even I would have had on mind. Looking at the other side of AI, we have a lot of advantages. So, what are the dangers that could be, with respect to AI, according to you? What kind of dangers could we see in the near future? I know this could be a very hypothetical question, but still, would like to hear it from you, sir.
No, it's not. See, people like Jeffrey Hilton, who's one of the actual pioneers of neural network, who's been knighted by the British, right? He was the head of DeepMind and Google, and he resigned saying that there are dangers of AI. So people who are really very deep into this and very profound, they believe so. And so you cannot just dismiss it as something that is not important. I'll give you only one or two samples of the problems that people are facing. Okay, let's take if I Google today, how do I make a bomb? Okay, and I start researching that. Then that police will come to my house tomorrow morning, right? They will say, "What are you trying to do?" Correct? They will start searching my background, trying to find out, so I can catch people who are doing that. But if I ask ChatGPT, how do I make a bomb? It sort of gives they will block it. Okay, but there are ways of going around that block. Like, for example, if you write a poem about making a bomb, it writes the bomb with all the ingredients and all. There are ways of going around. Let's say I download a model, large language model, Llama or some big model, and then I ask it how to make a bomb, and it teaches me how to make a bomb. And then it is very nice when AI says, I'm going to make some soup and I don't have some egg or some ingredient, it gives me an alternative. But if I'm making a bomb and I say I don't have this and give me an alternative, it gives me an alternative and I buy it and then I make a bomb, then it becomes very dangerous because I'm not even Googling anything. No, nothing is leaving my computer. I'm doing it locally. It could be a bomb, it could be a virus. See, you have to understand that people who are skilled, meaning if I am a skilled biologist, then I am asking those questions. I can get a lot more out of it than people who are not. Okay? And they are looking for it, right? So because it's trained on so many things, right? It can do a lot of interesting things. And this, by the way, is something that they have written. OpenAI has written on the paper saying that they have a what is called as a red teaming, where they asked it. Not only it suggested GPT-4 paper if you read, not only it suggested how to make a bomb, it also suggested which parts of the building if you place it will give you. It asked, do you want maximum destruction to the building or human life? And it gave good suggestions. Okay, so it is very, very, very negative usages are possible. Okay, we're not talking about just being biased against a religion or gender or something like. We're talking about something far more serious. Okay, it's possible.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you have to worry about these things. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was a very good insight from your end. So from the chat, I just see there was one point sir mentioned that only for screening the HR will be taking off if you're from a non-IT background. But I'm pretty sure, sir, I'm putting forward this question to you. If even a non-IT person, non-technical person is getting skilled with data science, I'm pretty sure that is going to be an upskilling. Companies would want people who are skilled specifically in data science, even though they are not from a tech background. I want your thoughts on this, sir. Getting skilled in a particular course definitely is going to get them what they need.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, right? See, it is a skill. Just like you can work in any part of the bank. You can be you can be a teller, you can be a manager, you can be in any role. You need to have that IT skill. Same way, this AI as a tool. If you have that skill, there's always going to be something or the other that opens out for you because it's how you tame it. Ideally, bigger companies may be a little bit reluctant, but once you work in a smaller company, pick up that skill and show. Again, as I said, if you put your LinkedIn profile or if you put in your GitHub thing and you start showing, definitely you can get a job. There's no problem.
Perfect, sir. Thank you. I just wanted to hear because there were a few of them a little disappointed on the chat box. So all who said that, I guess that cleared. So even though you're from non-tech, if you have the right skills and you can showcase those skills and have the right networking, you are going to get the job that you deserve. Just making that correction.
We hire typically 5 to 10% of our employees are non-tech, right? They could be in marketing. We hire MBAs who do business analyst job. Okay, 10% of our workforce are basically non-tech. So it's not that you have to be technical to join Capgemini. It's not true.
Makes sense, sir. Makes sense. Makes sense, sir. Sir, what is your take? Multiple questions on this particular topic. What is your take on the current recession in IT? Is that going to affect data science in any way in the coming future?
See, recession, if it happens, it's going to affect everybody. Okay, but I don't think there's a recession because ChatGPT, there are new projects coming in. As I said, the people who talk about recession are people who haven't gone into Gen AI. If you are into Gen AI today, we don't have enough people, right? So every company is announcing big budgets. Capgemini announced $2 billion to do reskilling of people. So I have budget, I have people. We're trying to get everybody skilled. But if you're working on something else, then you're like, oh, there are no projects. That's because in that particular skill, as I told you, it's going to shift from something to something. Okay, so it's going to happen, but I don't see that much of a recession right now. Maybe next year we'll see, but I don't see that too much. We are getting more
All right.
projects we can handle. Yeah.
Great. So there's a very specific question comes in terms of how AI can affect a few industries. So this question is repeated multiple times. So I'm just putting forward to you how AI will affect typical manufacturing industries like refinery, automobile, pharma, innovation, and how would it also disrupt the education system? So what is your thoughts on this, sir?
See, education is a long topic. It's been extremely well discussed in the internet. I'm not going to go too much into that. All of us who worked during the COVID from home, all of the students who studied from home during COVID know that there is a fundamental change in the way interaction happens between teachers and students. You can't revert back, right? If there is a rain, my students, my parents, and all of them demand, why can't you conduct from, because you can't say that's not possible. 5 years back, you would have laughed to say that you could actually have classes like this, okay? But now it's a no. It's raining, just conduct from home. Why don't you do that? I mean, what's the problem? Why do you need my students to come? So that's taken as granted. Okay, so there is a lot of changes that has happened. That just like that, the education industry is fundamentally changed with AI and algorithms and chat GPT writing code, assignment, generating everything. So my son was doing some assignment and they gave a topic. He put it into one website and he gave the storylines line by line. For each of the line, it generated a slide plus image that is very contextual to that particular slide. You understand, right? And all of them, and then he put it on the chat group chat saying that all of you do this. Everybody did it. And next day morning, teacher said, I know all of you used AI because this is the first time in my history everybody submitted assignment on time before hours before. You understand? Okay.
Yes.
So within like 20 minutes, all assignments submitted. I said it's not possible. Okay, it's too much of a
True.
correlation and the causation. She put that. So he said it's not possible, and the images are so contextual. English is so perfect. There's no mistake. It's not possible. Okay, so I know, and it's like that. So what I'm saying is, it is going to change the way students interact. But as a student, I'm telling you, okay, a lot of people took offense to Narayana Murthy saying 70 hours and things like that.
Yes. Yes.
What Narayana Murthy said was something that you need to carefully think. What he said is, youngsters should look for working 70 hours. He never said company should make them work 70. Okay, there's a big difference between these two. If you put in 70 hours of work, you can get somewhere because you can really get some skill. Okay, so he was talking from an youngster individual point of view, not from a, you understand, 70 hours is not unreasonable to expect at a junior level. If you put in that kind of a work, you learn a lot and you can actually do very well in a company. Okay, as you grow older, then you get married, you have other pressures, and you're not able to devote so much time. People understand. Okay, that's when you start managing others and get others to work 70 hours for you, something like that. You understand, right? But he was talking from that perspective. Same way, I'm saying it is going to affect every industry, manufacturing, supply chain, you name it, it's going to affect, and we are using it. Okay, and this Gen AI has accelerated that whole adaptation. That is what it has happened. And so every industry, everywhere, they're asking AI, AI, AI. Today, that's the mantra,
Okay, sir.
right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a very good insight. So, a very interesting question, sir. This is something that even I was there at the back of my mind also, because you already done a prediction in 2021 about AI, Gen AI. So, the question is, are there any specific AI applications or breakthroughs that you will anticipate now for the prominent future? Is there anything that you are predicting right now that will come in the near future?
Um, those predictions are corporate secrets kind of a thing, right? No, no. See,
Understand.
again, as I said, there is going to be a fundamental transformation in the way people do things. Okay, and that's going to get accelerated. And we are going to see verticalized AI because right now, if you take Chat GPT, other things are going to be very generic. Okay, we're going to see finance, insurance, that kind of a verticalized AI that are very capable, but within that specific domain. That is what you're going to see. One more thing is, um, if you look at it, there is an old saying that Stone Age did not end because of lack of stones. Okay, newer technology came along. So what I'm saying is, AI will face some problems, not because AI can't do or things can't do, because if you think about it, if you type in ChatGPT what is 2 plus 2, it gives 4. In the back, it does 175 billion calculations and comes up with the answer for. Okay, and that is not sustainable.
Yes.
Okay, from a sustainability point of view, other point of view. So there is going to be some other factors, backlashes, regulations, a major incident that is going to change the way we do things. That's what we predict. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Makes sense. Makes sense, sir. Thank you so much for that. Sir, one question that came. This is somebody who, taking from a person who's experienced so much to people who are just getting to start. What do you think would be the right way to start? Consider there's a person who wants to take up AI in data science and he wants to become more prominent in that. What do you think would be the way to go about, even if he's going to start from scratch? How do you think he can start his career towards becoming using AI in data science and becoming prominent in that?
So you have to start with these online courses, right? I mean, where you start learning basics, and then you have to use that not as the end all. It has to be a beginning which starts your journey, gets you moving towards more and more. Okay, and that is the way you can proceed towards mastery. Okay, but you should not take one 2-hour course and suddenly think I'm a data scientist or something like that. It's a start, it's a beginning. The beginning of the journey will take you to where you want to be. That's the way I look at it, right? Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. So we're almost coming to the end of our 1 hour beautiful talk. Cannot even imagine that 1 hour is up. It was so nice interacting with you. So I would just like to leave the next few minutes to you, sir. How would you like to? What advice would you like to give our viewers in terms of the future of AI? How to prepare and get ready for what's out there? Because all of them are aspiring to become great data scientists and engineers, and also include AI in their entire job profile. So, what advice would you give them, and what is your way of telling us how to go ahead from here?
That's what I'm saying now. See, data science, machine learning will always be there. At least in the near future, 10 years, you will not have any problem. Or maybe beyond that, what will happen, I don't know. You can survive. So, whatever it is, you take a job. Okay, but learn it properly and don't cheat yourself. Meaning, you can always get a degree by taking from LinkedIn, some earlier people who have posted. Okay, you can't clear interviews. Okay, so be honest with yourself. And even if you know little, learn it properly. Okay, don't try to fudge your way through. I know people who faked interviews, who came into Capgemini and they got 50% hike, 80% hike, whatever they came. 2, 3 months they were not able to survive. And they got fired. Okay? And it will be devastating because literally overnight you will be told to go. Okay, and so don't do all that because it's very very short term thinking. You're all young, you'll have lot big career, you understand. So don't cheat yourself, don't cheat for anything. I know it's like giving parental kind of an advice, but trust me, you will get found out because if you are put, let's say, as I said, not Capgemini. When I talk, I go to a forum. There are 20 people in the AI forum, and there are like 18 pages sitting there. They all know many many things, right? And you have to be very very cognizant of what you're saying in front of that kind of a forum. You could literally get fired for being stupid. Okay, so be very humble, learn what you can, but learn it properly, and I think it should be okay. You should do well because every task, every level, there are jobs. Okay, you need not always be the CEO. If I start worrying, I'm not a CEO. I'll never sleep. I am what I am. Okay, and I'm doing the same thing for 4 years, and I don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm the COE head, COE head. That's all my role is. I don't think it's changed anytime in the near future. Okay, it's what I'll keep on doing. I'm happy. This is my destiny. This is what it is. You just do what it is, right?
Great, sir. That is that's very nice. Your humility is makes us encourages us so much. Thank you so much for those words, and I'm pretty sure each and every viewer here got a lot of learning from you. And every point that you said wasn't just out of experience; it was a lot of wisdom bombs that you threw on us. And learning about AI was fun with you, sir. Thank you so much for making this Odin Talks even more special. Already a lot of people are telling that they really had a good time with you, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and a sincere gratitude from everybody here, from the viewers as well as Odin School. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Yeah, I'm happy because I wanted to talk to students, give them some thought and encouragement. I'm very happy that you're learning. Learning should be the objective, right? It doesn't matter whether you're learning AI or BI or Power Builder or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. That learning is what I really encourage, and I'm super happy to help you. And, I pray that all of you will do well. That's my, the last thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay?
much, sir. It was
I
really
wish you
good
well.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Our pleasure, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much
Bye.
for being with us.
I've
Thank you,
given
sir.
my LinkedIn profile. Connect with me, chat with me, and if I can help, I'll help. Okay. Thank
Definitely,
you.
sir. Definitely, you'll have a lot of people who would want to connect with you. So, guys,
Yeah.
please, you can do that as well. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshwaran sir. Thank you, Gopher sir.